Hi everyone, I'm Shilpa. Introductions are funny to me because you're essentially answering the question who you are. Actually, I guess more importantly, what you can distill yourself down to that catches society's attention. I could say that I'm a 31-year-old Indian American girl who moved to New York from San Francisco. I could say that I'm the head of engineering at a fintech startup who's juggling a demanding role, relationships, and hobbies. I could say that I love to dance and I'm trained and still training in Bharatanatyam and Kathak. I could say that I'm a 2025 bride marrying the love of my life. But all of those parts are just parts of me, albeit significant parts. The whole, I imagine, is something much more complex and nuanced than the sum of these things. So let me walk you through what a day typically looks like for me. This video is an amalgamation of clips I've collected over the month of January, so you get to see an amortized version of my life. In the morning, I usually wake up somewhere between 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., depending on whether I want to go to the gym in the morning and also the time I slept the previous night. I would like to say that I don't look at my phone in the morning, but the first thing I check some days is my Slack app. This is mostly to ensure that nothing immediate needs my attention in the morning. Head of engineering means I'm completely responsible for all my products and all the products that my company offers. After this, I do my morning skincare routine. I brush my teeth, wash my face, do a 3-minute red light therapy, put on vitamin C, moisturize, and then sunscreen for sure. This downtime allows me to unwind from the stress I induce with my first activity. Then I drink a glass of water. My dance mentor taught me this tool recently to use drinking water or water as a transitional activity. By focusing on how the water tastes like, how it travels in my body, and what it induces, I am bringing back awareness and focus into my physical body. After having been in a dream state, my brain often tends to make me live within my own head rather than the physical world. So I find this to be a neat trick to snap back my brain to actually sense the things around me and start living in the physical world. I try to read at least 10 pages of my book in the morning every day. I have a physical copy of my book, so I limit my screen time in the morning. I always find that books are either morning books or night books, and I make sure to never read night books in the morning and morning books at night. Currently, I'm reading The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. I'll give my thoughts on it once I finish it. The last book I read was The Big Four by Agatha Christie. It's an Hercule Poirot book. Let's just say that it was the perfect palate cleanser after reading Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky and The Trial by Kafka. I actually really liked The Trial by Kafka. After reading, I go straight into work mode. I first go through my personal to-do lists, make sure I glance at my vision board. I always keep it visible in the morning. I have a daily Notion tracker that I use to keep myself in check. I'm definitely not one of those people that lives by their calendar or Notion. I like to have it as a guide for my day and week and keep myself accountable for tasks that I may otherwise forget. I'm a person who likes loose structure, but gives myself permission to color outside the lines and bend the structure always. I think that The imperfect aspect of life is what makes it utterly beautiful. I started to see that sometimes imperfect, asymmetric things evoke more beauty and evoke more life.
This whole day has been so crazy in terms of the amount of work I've had to do. I woke up and I immediately went and did a dance workout and finished my workout for the morning because I know today is going to be so jam-packed. And then I had to take all my morning meetings, which usually go to like lunchtime. But I had to do a bunch of work throughout the meetings because I had to get in some bug fixes, had to get in some deploys. That was fun. And then I had my lunch and I took a little break. And now I'm back again, and it's just like go time until my evening meetings, which ends at 4. Then I have like one more window of work, and then I have to go to Jersey with my partner in a rug to meet my parents. So yeah, it's such a crazy day, but I love crazy Wednesdays so that Thursday and Friday feel like wind downs to get into the weekends. So I just like having this like normal curve for a week where you start Monday a little slowly, then Tuesday's ramping up, and Friday Wednesday you're at your peak, and then you kind of ramp down a little bit. So yeah, that's how this Wednesday is going.
I've been thinking a lot about something we all wrestle with, balancing ambition and authenticity. This push and pull between chasing success as how society defines it and staying true to what makes you feel alive. I'm very lucky to own the narrative at my job and also be at a place and position where I can use my creativity to build things that has an audience. For a long time, I thought ambition meant following a straight line, getting good grades, getting a good job, climbing the ladder, rinse and repeat. And don't get me wrong, I'm very freaking proud of where I am. Leading engineering at a startup is no joke, and I've worked my ass off for it. But every now and then I ask myself, is there more? Or is there something different? I think about the parts of me that don't fit into a LinkedIn bio. The dancer, the storyteller, the person who just loves to sit and think about why the universe is the way it is. And I wonder, am I doing enough to honor that side of me? We all have these masks. Maybe it's the overachiever at work, the dutiful child, or the social butterfly. But underneath, there's this question, who am I when no one's watching? I don't know, maybe this is the year I'll find out. Maybe this is the year I will meditate on some of the exercises that will get me closer to the answer. But this is something that has been weighing heavily on my mind. So I guess I want to ask you this. What's one thing that you'd do if you weren't afraid of failing, or if no one was watching? I think in the end, you don't have to choose between being successful or being ambitious and being yourself. You can create your own definition of success, and I think that definition has definitely changed for me as I've grown older. When I was young and in my early 20s, it was definitely something way more different. And I think now in my 30s, the definition of success has definitely included people in it. Prior to this, people were not in my definition at all. The world might call that messy or impractical, and honestly, life is messy. It's not supposed to be a straight line. I don't know, maybe it's more like a dance. You kind of stumble, you improvise, but you do your best when no one's watching. In the evenings, I usually go to a studio to get a dance session in. Well, not usually, only on special days and when I get the time. Studio time is my favorite time. I come here and I start to move to a song that I really like that I've been listening to. The song is from the movie Tamasha. It's called Chali Kahani. The message of the song is basically just to go out there and tell your story, no matter how crazy it is. It just harkens you to be true to yourself, true to your story. And I really like the message of the song, especially considering what's been weighing on my mind. The motif of this choreography was to start from innocence, get molded by society. Here I'm trying to listen to the musicality of the song and see how intuitively my body moves. And for this crescendo part, my body just felt like it needed to move around in a very animated way. This is me trying out the choreography again to see how it sits in my body. I'm trying to experiment here. I want to kind of show innocence and childlike movement, so I'm experimenting with stuff here. Choreography is a super fun process for me. This is where I get really creative. And I seem to like what I have come up with so far, so I try to start again. Okay, she's really liking that move a lot. Yeah, I think the final release is my favorite part of this. I also want to show you guys the sunset at my house. It's my favorite time, especially the winter sunsets. They have been amazing. I just watch them until they're done. My house faces south, so it's the perfect for sunset watching. If I have time after everything, I try to get another session of reading in, especially if I really, really like the book or if the book is at a very interesting place. But reading in this light is so therapeutic. And at the end of a very hectic day, my partner and I like to unwind by watching our favorite show or talking. This is my favorite part of the day. Of course, he's being a little mischievous here, but I love him. Weekends are a bit different for me. In the morning, on Saturdays, I go get a dance workout in with my dance mentor. She's amazing. I go all the way to Brooklyn, but here is my favorite Korean K-beauty store, Senti Senti. They have everything you need. I love this place. I always go here and try to either get samples or get something that I run out of, but it's amazing. I'll take you guys on our date.
What is your stance on tomatoes? No, right? You are ambivalent.
Cherry tomatoes is fine. Audio, but we're at the Met and we're having date night at the Met. We're gonna hydrate and eat first before we go appreciate the art at the Met. Throwback to our second date. We had our second date here.
She means go by the...
Why would you act suspicious? I think it was fine. You're so...
Yeah, people must be wondering like that.
They can't even hear audio properly, I think, at this point. But I'll overlay the talk on it. I'll let some of it play out.